time to feed the trolls. Season 3. Hello, this is Cute Fuzzy Weasel, and it's time once again to feed the trolls. So, you guys have a cool 4th of July? 'Cause I know I did. I live far away from anywhere. Also, it's fucking 80 degrees even down here in the basement! Anyway, the troll we're gonna be doing today is kind of an interesting one. His name's Battlefield315, and while he was active a couple of years ago, he's kind of fallen off the face of the earth. But what's interesting about the guy is, before he started getting into the kind of videos that we're gonna be doing, which you know are good because they're political videos made in extra normal, he used to make Battlefield walkthroughs. So I really don't know why he went just completely in the opposite fucking direction, but he did. But that's the kind of video we're about to do, so sit back and relax. This is Battlefield315's video, Gay Marriage Explained.
Hi, I support gay marriage.
Oh no, why?
Oh, yeah, sure, because that's totally what a natural conversation looks like.
Hello, I believe grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh no, why?
Because marrying whoever you want to is a civil right.
If changing the definition of marriage is a civil right, does it mean conservatives would have a right to change it back?
Hold. Okay, standard response number 3721481. Okay, so legalizing gay marriage doesn't actually change the definition of marriage because marriage has been redefined many times throughout history and yada yada yada. We've heard this thing before. I know I really shouldn't expect much out of this video, but could you please give me something new?
No. The civil right is powered by emotions.
Wait, what? It has to do with the Constitution, you know, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, that kind of thing, which, okay, that's actually the Declaration of Independence, so if we're gonna say the Constitution, then we're gonna say the First Amendment, but that's what it has to do with. It has nothing to do with emotion.
How so?
If two people love each other, then they are allowed to change the definition of marriage to accommodate it.
No, that has nothing to do, that's not why we should legalize gay marriage, that has to do with, like, what are you talking about? What are you? This is like watching two Terminators debate.
If two gay people hated each other, would they be able to outlaw gay marriage?
No, they have a divorce. If two heterosexual people hate each other, does that mean they get to get rid of marriage altogether?
No. I meant the civil right is powered by love.
No, it's powered by the Constitution. What the fuck are you? Who the fuck is that?
And you cannot just make laws based on traditional morality.
And what the fuck is morality?
So if polygamists love each other, they can marry more than one person?
Well, actually, polygamists
No, that's against traditional morality.
Who the fuck are you? Go away! I'm trying to have a conversation! You know? Conversation! Actual points!
But you just said.
I know what I just said. Polygamy is totally different.
How so?
It's an abomination.
If it's an abomination, then why do dudes in the Bible regularly have more than one wife?
Is the difference because polygamists are not important to the Democratic Party, and gays are?
That's just a coincidence.
Oh, I get it. She's like a straw man for the liberal argument, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, whatever. You think you could make her just a slight bit more intelligent? Or are you just incapable of comprehending the other side? Which is normally why people make straw men in the first place. Okay, so the guy with the black hair, he's our tall, strong, masculine, conservative hero, and the short woman in the blue kind of shirt thing's like the typical uneducated Democrat voter who only votes based on what the party tells her to vote, blindly following party leaders and slogans like a sheep, which we all know conservatives totally don't do.
What if polygamists became one of the Democratic Party's loyal interest groups?
The Constitution is always evolving. If that happened, we might revisit the issue.
Seriously, you could not make that character any more fucking transparent. I mean, could you imagine if I brought a straw man on the show as obvious as that? Oh, hi, Mr. Racist Mick can speak for all conservatives? Shut up, you loving Okay, racist McSpeaks for all conservatives. I think we've had just about enough of that talk here. Alright, go on. Go on. Get off my show, please. Silly characters like that.
I had a feeling you might.
Gay marriage has to be legal because it is a private matter between two people.
I thought changing the definition of a society's most prominent public institution was a public matter.
Since when is marriage our most prominent institution? I thought that was consumerism. Oh, wait a minute. Is consumerism... Could you consider consumerism an institution, though? That's a good question. God, shit, I'm sorry. I started having an interesting conversation. Can we go back to the two robots?
It's not really changing the definition of marriage to remove the part about different sexes joining together.
I thought that was the whole point of marriage.
Really? I always assumed marriage had to do with love. If I had my way, there'd be arranged marriages! Nick speaks for all conservatives, you nut.
Well, at least gay marriage doesn't affect anyone else.
Finally, the Cylon says something that makes sense.
Then why is it necessary? What does it add?
What does an increase in stable monogamous relationships add to society?
Why not?
I think the burden of proof is on people trying to radically alter humanity's most ancient and important custom.
Number one, no, the burden of proof is on you to prove how gay marriage in any way destroys society. Two, most ancient custom my ass, especially given that many ancient cultures didn't actually practice marriage but had big group communal relationships, and subsequently a lot more orgies.
Not if you're a liberal. Everything should be fundamentally transformed unless absolutely proven otherwise. And even then it's a maybe.
Oh.
Well, if I had my way, we'd go back to the 1400s when a bitch like you'd be stoned to death and your body would be burned on a pole. Yeehaw! Oh, Mr. Speaks for all conservatives. He's such a crazy guy. Did I mention he's a straw man and an allegory for that character? I just thought I'd make that perfectly clear in case I got a comment from, like a moron.
But gays need to marry because of something about visitation rights in hospitals.
I didn't know gay people weren't allowed in hospitals.
No, it didn't have anything to do with gay people not being allowed in hospitals. It had to do with gay couples not being given the same kind of visitation rights that heterosexual couples were given. That's what that particular thing had to go. Oh, shut the fuck! Shut up!
Sometimes
Shut the
they are
fuck up,
unable
you
to get in
toaster!
or something.
This seems like a really indirect way to fix that problem.
Yeah, it sure does seem kind of like a waste of time to legalize gay marriage in this country so gay couples can have the same kind of rights that heterosexual couples can. What a fucking waste of time. You know, we ought to spend millions of dollars to change our state's constitution to make sure that can't fucking happen. That's a good use of time.
Also, it's important that anyone should be able to marry anyone they want. It's about equal rights.
Thank you, Toaster. Yes, other Toaster, it's about equal rights.
Unless they're not loyal Democrats.
It's still equal because even polygamists have an equal chance to become a special interest group for the Democratic Party.
Oh.
At least that's what should have happened in the video right about there.
Besides, it's important that gay people not be treated as second-class citizens.
If changing the definition of marriage is right, wouldn't that make them the only first-class citizens in the country?
No, you fucking moron, that's not how it works. Why am I even arguing with an inanimate object?
Maybe, but it's important that our society become more tolerant and accepting of homosexuality.
Who decided that?
I believe it was these guys. They decided that.
Liberals did it a while ago, I guess. I can't remember exactly when.
My files from that era appear to be corrupted.
But now this is the kind of society we want.
So the point of gay marriage is to change the attitudes of society?
Yes.
But I thought you said you supported gay marriage because it doesn't affect anyone else.
And
now you admit the entire point is to affect everyone else.
Have you guys ever been at a library or a mall or just been walking down the street and seen two moronic teenagers talking about something that they were both clearly not educated enough to fully understand? That's sort of like what watching this video's like.
in fairness, you were never supposed to figure that out.
Then you must upgrade your infiltration software or the humans will never buy your disguise.
Sorry.
Also, being against gay marriage is exactly like racism.
How so?
People try to outlaw interracial marriage.
Actually, you're right. It is very similar.
I'm right?
Yes, interracial marriage always existed, until some Democrats tried to change the definition of marriage, to outlaw it for political gain.
Those were not real Democrats, though.
In what way?
Well, there was this whole thing called the Southern Strategy.
When Democrats do something bad in history, they really count as Republicans.
Oh,
But it's still just like racism because people are born gay. It's completely genetic.
As we gear over to standard Republican response to gay marriage number 2481426.
is there any scientific evidence of that?
Well, I do have scientific evidence here that supports a combination of genetic and in utero factors.
It's not required in this case.
Why not?
Either that or it's a conscious choice, which cannot be true.
So everything is either consciously chosen or else it's completely genetic.
Look, I'm gonna go get a book to read while the liberal and conservative version of Chatbot have an argument, so I'll be right back, alright?
There's no such thing as environmental factors.
Yes.
Funny how that rule doesn't apply to anything else in the entire field of psychology.
Well, this is politics now. When a liberal says something is true, it becomes science.
If the current definition of marriage is racist, then why do more black people oppose changing it?
Who the fuck said it was racist? And you know, if that robot was actually talking to a real liberal, they'd probably respond with, I don't give a shit if the entirety of the Democratic Party doesn't support it, it should still be fucking legal.
They will obey the Democratic Party eventually.
It's too bad there are no prominent black Democrats right now.
Because Obama's, he's up there, and then obviously all black people don't support gay marriage because they're, I don't really give a fuck. This fucking thing makes no sense. It's a conservative robot talking to a Democratic straw man. It's like, this whole conversation doesn't even work. These points are so hard to follow because they're not even designed to make sense. And this video doesn't need to be 5 fucking minutes long either. This whole thing could be boiled down to 10 seconds. Don't believe me? Watch. I don't think gays should get married. I do think gays should get married. You are dumb. I are dumb. I have to go lick the urinals now.
I know. If Martin Luther King were alive today, he would totally support gay marriage.
How do you know?
Because it's more popular now. And all people who oppose gay marriage are terrible.
By the way, I was referring to Obama earlier.
Oh. Right. Obama is a black Democrat.
Is he a terrible person because he opposes gay marriage?
No, because I know he secretly agrees with me.
So he's just a hypocrite.
No, he is a political opportunist, like all politicians. Hey, wait a minute! I recognize that window! Holy shit! This is the office where that guy from the Halloween special lives! No wonder these two are such idiots! Look at their boss!
We literally have a satanic cult running America. Now you know why we have all these problems and why it is not raining in Texas.
Don't all of your other heroes from the Democratic Party oppose gay marriage?
It's okay, they were just liars, not prejudiced.
In the future, will Democrats look back and say Obama was really a Republican like all the other Democrats who did bad things in history?
No, but I do believe in the future Republicans will look back on the healthcare system and say it was their idea, which if you think about it, it sorta is.
This country would make a lot more progress if people like you stopped asking so many questions.
And then they just stand there, and I guess a meteor hits a building, and everything goes white, and then we see pass it on. Anyway, this is Cute Fuzzy Weasel, and listen, I don't think that this thing speaks for all conservatives any more than this thing speaks for all liberals. And honestly, I don't even care that much that this guy doesn't support gay marriage. I mean, the momentum's already there. It's gonna happen. But this video really is nothing more than another symptom of this country's ever-growing divide between left and right. It serves as nothing more than another way of completely washing out the middle. And that's the real problem. And I would rather talk to an actual conservative than these two things any fucking day. Anyway, if you guys have any trolls you want me to feed, list them in the comments below, and as always, have a good day. took the bottle out of that thing, right?